Hello and good evening, and welcome back to Breath of Fire 3. This may very well be the finale, which you'll be fully aware of by the time this goes live, because it'll be in the name. I did a few things off stream. By going through that hallway a few times, I managed to get triple blow from the vampire. Managed to grab Thunder Strike at some point from the Mist Men. Also Evil Eye from the vampire, but we don't care about that. Gloom from the bats, which will of course be useful if it actually lands. It turns out I was incorrect. We did not even need to go through all that trouble with Arwen, whatever the solo boss was. The Revenants in that hallway actually use Chill as well. It's one of their two abilities, so whoops. I was mostly attempting to get decent pieces of gear. I was kind of hoping to get a Goo King sword off recording, just to, be like, hey, look, it exists. But more importantly, we got a copy of Mist Armor from the Mist Man. The caveat there is it's a semi-rare drop, but you can't attack it physically more than twice, or the armor quote-unquote cracks, and therefore it's no longer in the drop table. What it means by hitting them twice, meaning two separate inputs. So using Blitz did not cause the issue, and if the second hit is lethal, that's fair game. Basically, if it stays alive from two separate physical attacks, so two different characters attack and it doesn't die, that will break the armor and it's no longer in the loot table. Other than that, vampire drops, or no, you steal the burglar garb from the vampire. It doesn't have any defenses as far as statuses are concerned, but it has a built-in agility boost and it has 0 weight. So as you can see for Rey, that's a very nice piece. Additionally, Sacred Armor in this case is a +2 resistance to Holy, Death, statuses, and whatever Psionics is, because that's apparently separate of statuses. In addition, we got this from a Revenant, and between that and the Silver Tiara, Momo should be completely immune to statuses now. But yeah, that's about it. We did get a few levels, and I also burned through all the stat booster items. This is the fastest I have ever had a party in this game, ever. With Momo coming in at the slowest with 79, and Ryu coming in as the king with 84, I think we'll be fine. Just about the only thing I would consider at this point is switching out one of these two for that light bangle on him, which probably won't matter too much. And then probably put something similar on him. Perhaps even replacing both of them with the light bangle to ensure that the fastest non-dragon has status immunity. But yeah, that's about all we did. So, without further ado, let's see if we don't wrap this up tonight. Hope everybody's doing well. I think we all know by now that whenever she runs off like that, it always means trouble. I mean, not necessarily. Gotta check one thing, but we are good. You're an amazing machine. Do you know that, honey? Ryu's got the right reaction, though. Attention. Navigator code for highest level functions. Accepted. Access to library mode. Granted. Oh, one interesting thing to note, because we still do have combat here. I think we got lucky when that Kyrie just outright murdered the vampire, because I have had several failures where it just does 0 damage since. I think it's treated as a status and or instant death effect, and they already have like a native resistance to those effects, perhaps, so we might have just gotten lucky. I'm not sure. But it does still... Oh, well. No? Okay. It is still weak to Holy, though, so if you have Aura and Holy Strike on 2 separate characters, you can still shred them before killing the bats, if you play your cards right. Welcome. We serve the Almighty Goddess. Before you meet with the Holy Maria, please hear our words. Smells like a lore dump. The Holy Maria awaits you ahead. Okay, you don't have anything for us. Before the coming of Maria, the world was dying. The wounded earth was being covered by sand, and the very life was being sucked out of its inhabitant. I'm not sure what the glowing water is. The grieving Maria used all her divine power to divide the world into 2 halves. One half being where you are now, the desert of death, and the other, the world you came from, overflowing with life. Yeah, I gotta conclude that fish, am I right? The 2 worlds are separated by the vast and violent ocean you call the Outer Sea. Which protects your world from the desert. Okay, Mother Brain. The majority of life that escaped death was taken, like yourselves, to the other world. I don't think there's treasure in here. Which, by this point, we're kind of already squared up anyway. Yeah, I think we're okay. It is Maria's desire to protect life, to protect your world. Even a monster's life is sacred to Maria. Just saying, that might not necessarily be a good thing. In order to protect the life she so loved, Maria instituted many forms of safeguards and controls. Foremost among these is the control of technology. Maria makes certain that no dangerous machines, like weapons, are developed. What's Momo using then? Maria allows the use and repair of only existing machines, and keeps the study of machines from leading to potentially destructive ends. A second control is achieved through the energy of Chrism ore. Chrism ore is the fossilized remains of living beings. Uh-huh. Transmuted by the blessed power of the divine Myria. You see, Chrism ore is no more than one of the ways Myria provides the world with her magical energy. Gives me some Chrono Trigger vibes with the layout of this room. Yo! It's the one in my dream! Ray, Ina, Momo, Guardian Gar, and you. What about Pico? My brave, strong children who have crossed the violent ocean and the burning desert. I am Myria. O great and mighty goddess, we have journeyed far seeking you that we might know the truth. O goddess, tell us, why did the brood have to be destroyed? Is there anyone who wishes the destruction of life? I certainly do not. However, the power of the brood is too great. Too great for my small, small world. As you know, this side of the world is almost entirely buried by sand, making it almost impossible for anything to survive. Life has been driven nearly to extinction. I have to preserve what little is left. I had to save the rest of the world from the danger called the brood. So what you're saying is, we should just sit back and let you take care of us, like we were your babies or something, right? Exactly, Ray. If I did not hold it back using the outer sea as a shield, the desert would slowly, inevitably, spread across the entire world. I did not continue to create the machines that are repaired and used worldwide, civilization as we know it would surely perish. But while we don't have the means now, someday we might be able to build our own machines. If the world were covered by sand, your lives would be consumed with the struggle to survive. You would not be able to build anything. And if you succeeded in creating the machines you needed, can you say with certainty that you would not also build a weapon with which you might also destroy yourselves, Momo? In the past, this world was large, larger than you can imagine. Many people once lived here in Sirkan, but the people fought and quarreled, and the city was swallowed by the desert. I was unable to protect them. I will not make the same mistake again. I will protect you and all the life that is left. I understand what you're trying to say. We are weak and maybe we do need help and protection. And the power of the brood may be similar to the power that destroyed this city so long ago. But what are you saying we should do? Are you saying that Ryu must die? Or that he has to spend the rest of his life locked up in some little room in an artificial world, like Tipo? No kidding. I don't like the fact that this is all being controlled by you, that you're pulling all the strings. I'm just like a little kid, see? If you tell me to sit still, it just makes me want to run around more, yeah? Oh, goddess. We have no desire to give Ryu up to you, nor do we wish to see him killed. Having traveled with him, I can say that I do not believe that the power of the Brood is as fearsome and dangerous as you claim it to be. I'm shocked that nearly the entire world is covered by sand, but with Ryu's, with our power working together, then maybe, just maybe. Oh no, she's moving her hands. Enough, my children. I admire your bravery and courage, Ray. Oh shit, she Thanos snapped. There is no need to worry. I will erase your memories of this place and simply return you to where you belong, Momo. My strength is admittedly small, but it is all you have to live with. You understand, Nina? Well, I guess our final party is Ryu, Gar, and Pico because that's half. Perfectly balanced as all things should be. Thank you for bringing Ryu here, Guardian Gar. Your mission is now complete. Hell yeah. Bring on the onion. What about me, Maria? You didn't call my name. Don't you know who I am? to your Yggdrasil? You won't be able to get away with this, not while I'm around. All I'm doing is leading my children by the hand, giving them a world they can live in. Maria, these so-called children crossed the entire world to get here and overcame the myriad barriers that you set before them, all for the sake of helping their friend, Ryu, find his destiny. Ryu, very well. We will let Ryu decide. What do you want to do? If you give up your power, the world will continue to live under my protection, as it has until now. Your power, which has brought you here, is too big for the world. Like the other brood once did, accept your fate. I, Ryu. Cookie, Ryu. You have to believe in yourself, and in those who believe in you. Ooh. I mean, thanks for actually talking, finally. To tell the truth, I'm really frightened. We're not strong at all. If you go against fate, something awful might happen to the world. But I've always believed you weren't a bad dragon. I'll always believe that, no matter what happens. Something bad dragon. I only know how to fix machines, you know. But we can dig up those machines, even if they're buried under a desert, and learn from them. Even if the world is covered in sand, we'd still be able to do something. As long as we don't give up, right? It's because of all that nonsense she's been going on about that Tipo ended up the way he did. She messed with my brother. That's the one thing I can't forgive. I don't care what you decide to do. I'm going to fight her. I don't know if I can win or not, but I gotta try. Is he just a... Alright, is it just him that gets a new line? We'll be alright. I have a feeling it'll work out. Tell the truth, all this talk about the end of the world or the desert, it's all just too big. I can't get a handle on it. You'll have to decide for yourself, Ryu. Like, everybody else, and we haven't talked to Gar yet, but Momo's is the most realistic. Look, you gotta figure that shit out on your own. I don't know. I brought you here simply because I wanted to know the truth about my own actions. It may have been a selfish reason, but I've learned one thing from all of this. Now, more than Myria, I trust you, Ryu. I know it won't make up for all the brood I killed, but I'm glad I brought you here. But yeah, overall, some characters don't change too much, Momo being one. Kinda, sorta Nina. Gar has a bunch of development. Like, he completely has turned over in his own religion. And Ray... I guess this is more a natural conclusion to how he was in his youth under those circumstances, but still, he's changed as well. He's not a bleeding heart saying that we're not going to hurt anybody or anything. Still the same thing? Okay. A decision on which the fate of a world hangs in the balance. Give up the power of the brood, and live in a peaceful world watched over by the goddess? Or believe in the power of the brood and travel into the empty desert, where unknown dangers await? Ryu decides to. So, pardon me, I got a. There's a burp just trapped in there, and oh gosh, that's terrible. I don't like that the only option here is give up the power or plunge into the desert. I don't like that particular bit, but I'm going to be real with you. I can't, under any circumstances, justify the giving up your power route here. That is its own ending. There's just too much that is very clearly wrong in this world that stems directly from her. And all this so called protection she gives, it's nothing more than coddling. Sometimes the kids just want to go out into the world on their own, you know? So, like any kid turning to adulthood, we're going to choose our own path. Ryu realized he couldn't give up his power. Of course, he thought of his people and his destiny and Tipo. But more importantly, he felt that if he gave up his power, he would no longer be himself. Apologies for that. I think I paused it in time, but I want to say maybe a second or two came through anyway. It was a small distraction for a bit. But let's get back to it. He would no longer be himself. Do you realize what it is you are trying to do? Do you? By making me your enemy, you realize you are making the whole world your enemy, don't you? I have faith that you, that the brood, are not so foolish. For your weapon. Ryu realized it was foolish to challenge a god, but he held his ground. My poor Ryu. Your great power has driven you mad. What of those who do not have such power like the brood? They cannot live without my protection. By not giving up your power, you threaten their very existence. Just as I always believed, the brood truly are a danger, a threat to the world. Not true, Maria. It just means that life is no longer content to live in the little cage you have made for it. Yggdrasil, no matter what you say, I will protect this world for the sake of all life on it. Maria, life in your world has been protected from the desert and death, but that's not the same as living. Ryu, son of the accursed brood, the time for talk has ended. The time for fight is now. No, but if you will not change your mind, it grieves me to harm you, but I have no choice. For the good of the world, you must die. Choose 3 party members to fight against the goddess. So, oh hey, thanks game. What I was going to say was, back when I was little, this was the de facto team, Ryu, Rei, and Gar. Uh, it was rough, but it did get the job done eventually. Damn, choking on my own saliva. Gradually shifted over shifted over to something like this with Ryu, Rei, and Pico. Pico, like I said, scales really well when you let him actually level properly with Fall. It's actually shockingly dangerous. But this time, as weird as it was for me, I have Ryu, Rei, and Momo. Rei just always ends up in the party. I mean, he's the speedy boy, and speed is king in a lot of these games, it seems. Nina has, I don't believe she has ever been in an effective party for me for the final battle. If I ever come back to this and record it, maybe we'll make a point of that. You know, keep her in the active party somehow. But the utility team, Mr. Lockpicker and Nerd Girl, uh, definitely do round out your functionality, and they work really well, as you've seen this run. But that's what we're going to do. Ryu, Rei, and Momo. I wonder what formation I will use. Oh, wait. Gotta get those big numbers. It pains me. It grieves me, my children, that I must take up arms against you. Against the very life I have sworn to protect. But you must understand, Ryu. I can't let you, your power, roam free in the world. To protect the lives of my other children, I must become unto a fury. Fury forfend. Farewell, my children. Something something Halone. And welcome to the final boss, Breath of Fire 3. Maria has quite a few dangerous things she can do. But we have several dangerous things we can also do. I believe that was it, right? Infinity, Trance, and Radiance. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you can't steal anything from her. But even if you could, well, I guess you could equip it. Huh. Once we get far enough in that we can start doing haha funny things, we'll maybe take a look and see. So I'm pretty sure under Kaiser, there is no way we couldn't get an EX turn. But we're going to be damn sure we do have that ability. Also, Maria's theme's pretty good. So we're actually going to hold off on popping Bone Break just for the moment. Okay, so he can get an EX turn, but the other two can't. But everybody does outspeed. So let's just try a triple blow, see how that turns out. I want to try and get Gloom to pop, because I think that would be super funny. Oh. So yeah, just casually deal almost 2,000 without even buffing their offense. So Maria has a plethora of methods to just ruin your day. I think we'll be fine though. I'm going to hold off on Aura for another 2-ish Ray turns. I just want to see if we can actually land Gloom. So without focus... Yeah, actually, we don't even need to waste a turn using that. Triple blow's enough, honestly. We'll try one more. And we'll go ahead and give Ray the extra turn next. Okay. We'll leave it at that then. I really want to see a reprisal pop just to see how busted the damage is. So remember how we were saving these for the whole game? Admittedly, this is honestly overkill at this point, but we're actually going to probably transition into Phase 2 fairly quickly. Let's try one more Gloom and see if we can pass to the next phase before Sanctuary comes out. Okay, we're going to give up on Gloom. And since we should have EX turns across the table, across the board, we'll use Vitalize, I think. Should keep everybody fairly well up. War Shout, baby. Yeah, Vitalize should... We'll see the exact values, but... Yeah, we should be in Phase 2 already. Yeah, no, that was fine, actually. So I have nothing against the EX turns, but boy, this feels way easier when you can just guarantee everybody acts twice per turn. Maria gets to do anything. So I think we're far enough in. Let's actually see. I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh a lot if there's actually something to steal. So is this better or worse? Yeah, no, I'm just gonna stick to triple blow, actually. Oh no! You can steal! Okay, that's great. We'll wait a turn because, yeah, that would be a little bit wasteful. We're just going to see what we can steal. I don't care. We've already basically got this in the bag for now. He actually does have some fairly dangerous moves, but they don't start coming out until the second half. And then I'm going to show why it's kind of busted. that I saved all those items. Bonk. Bonk. So here's one of the reasons, which is this is a multi-status affliction deal, which did nothing. Cool. Okay, I was thinking I could use items as Kaiser. Apparently not, so it's not going to be as completely busted as I was thinking it was going to be. So we'll do this, and then next turn I'm going to use an item with Momo. So you might remember there was another item that I was explicitly mentioning we were saving. Never did use those. Wow, we got 6 of these. So notice how it says stops all but user for 3 turns? Yeah. Oh. Never mind. So, she didn't use her most interesting ability, so I guess, whoops. I didn't think Triple Blow would be comparable to Aura under normal circumstances, but it did it. So we're actually, well ahead of schedule. So if y'all were expecting a big climactic battle, I suppose I'm sorry. Might have over-prepared just a smidge. It's over. No, for you, it's just the beginning. It was a long, hard journey. But we did the right thing, didn't we, Ryu? Gar? As a guardian, my life must end here with the goddesses. Time to die. Go. From now on, you must walk on your own. My world. I tried, but it wasn't enough. I fear the world will be destroyed again. What should I have done? What could I have done? If there is a God, answer me. What should I have done with the brood? Sister? It's for the best, Maria. You've protected this world until now. Goodbye, Gar. Goodbye. You went too far in your attempt to wipe out the brood. I mean, even starting would be too far, really. In the end, that was something your children had to overcome, to go beyond, in order to walk on their own. Run, you fools! Run! How Momo got that far ahead of the group, though, I don't know. Don't worry. They can take care of themselves better than you think. They, and the world, are stronger than we think. I'm sure of it. Oh no! Game over, guys. We died. That would seriously be such a change of pace. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. I love that these super detailed sprites are only used here. Like, it actually feels like a reward. Da 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 da. But with this, the search for answers is in fact concluded. Ryu has well and truly grown up. Pico de Gallo is lost forever. That's never entirely cleared up. But, yeah, that's the ending of Breath of Fire 3. And here's the credit sequence, which will play out. So, a few things to note about this before I say things about other matters. While I did try to cover as much of the content as possible, there were some things that... Oh, I got another crap burp. Pardon me. There's a few things that I, one, forgot to include on screen, and others that just, it's best to include as much as you can, but also still leave enough that people could go and, you know, fiddle about on their own, I feel. For example, there's several Yggdrasil trees around the world. Funny how bringing Pico to one makes one a master. You could go and talk to the other ones to see what happens. But Breath of Fire 3, overall, very solid game in my opinion. An excellent RPG. I'm definitely biased, grew up with it, but this is probably... I'm probably been through this game enough times that I have to use two hands now. And that's kind of a big deal with the JRPG. I will probably at some point or another attempt to do like a proper review of this. But this is the third entry. There are no spin-offs up to this point, and it is the final entry in which references to or allusions to the quote-unquote goddess are a thing. 1, 2, and 3, 1 especially, but 2 apparently is also considered to be loosely tied together with the rest. If we go through 1 and 2, which I say if, it should be when, I suppose, I'll point out things, and if we go through them with the proper, with some retranslations that help bridge the gap in terms a little bit. There, you'll see where these illusions are. They're loosely tied together to the point that you could just play any of them, and that would be fine. But I'll see about going over all of that maybe once all 3 games are done. But that will be a bit in the future. Um, how do you get your hands on Breath of Fire 3 at this point in time? Besides the method we don't talk about, you'll need to either get a physical copy on PlayStation 1 or a physical copy from the PSP. Unfortunately, this is one of those games that you will have some severe difficulty getting your hands on, as I do not believe you can get your hands on a digital copy legally, even if you had a connection to the PS Store in a format that supported PS1 and so on. The PS1 version did not get a digital copy, and I don't recall if the PSP version got a digital release or not. But even then, not everybody will have a PS3 that still functions. And the Vita, well, love the little thing, but it also kind of got the shaft as well. I do recommend that you experience the game yourselves somehow, though. So, I mean, you saw the thing, but there's plenty of things you could do differently from me, like not just triple blow the last boss to death using Kaiser. Whoops. Uh, and then here's the kicker. In the middle of the desert, this desert of death, where no life is ever going to come to conclusion, according to Maria, and the seed of the future has sprouted. I believe that's why Pico is no longer in the party in that final shot. Either he saved the group from the explosion on the, the, I guess, elevator. The elevator that didn't meet work code standards. That's what I can infer anyway. Maybe somebody else has another idea for that. But yeah, highly recommend that you try the game yourselves. What comes after this? I don't know yet. Underrail will still take up the primary slot. We are getting closer to the end of that, but it's a very meaty game. I might do something that's not an RPG proper, just to rotate something in real quick and go through it in a relatively quick span of time. I know another viewer commented a few parts ago about Xenogears. It's probably on the forecast. I don't know if it's an immediate one though, because Xenogears is definitely a longer RPG. Pardon me. I would at least like Underrail to be done before I picked up another super long game. If y'all have requests, by all means, let me know. But I might pick up and do a rotation of Iconoclasts. That should probably not take too long. It's a pretty cozy platformer game. I say platformer. Platform-based action-adventure game, side-scroller. It's really charming in its own ways. Highly recommend it, by the way. You might notice a trend. It's available on Steam at relatively cheap prices when it hits on sale, so maybe keep that on your forecast. But we will eventually do Breath of Fire 1 and 2 and 4. And eventually Dragon Quarter, as salty as I believe one of the viewers on Twitch would be. But that'll be for the future. Let's not linger too long. I covered the essentials. Thank you all for joining me on this trip. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that maybe you've, been tempted to go and pick up the game yourself or check out the other games ahead of time. Either way, if one of those two have come to be, then I'd say this one has done its job. Uh, as always, if you got something you'd like to say, by all means, comments are open. Uh, I try to respond to everything that comes up. If you like the video, please like and whatnot, share it with your friends, or share the playlist with your friends, as by the time this goes live, I should have the full game playlist available and public with everything sorted and in autoplay. So if somebody's that interested, there you go. They can go right through it. And finally, if you want to keep abreast of whatever comes next, please subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to try and cover a lot of classics. There will be the occasional newish game, especially if something that's relevant to my interest comes out in recent, more modern times. But got plenty of PS1 entries, Super Nintendo. Well, I might have to dance a little carefully around non-third party Super Nintendo games. But we'll see how it goes when we get there. And for everything else, I'll try to cover everything I've got my hands on already. And, maybe some new stuff, too. New old stuff. But for now, y'all take care of yourselves and have a wonderful day. And I'll see you next time, hopefully, for the next journey, wherever it may take us. Stay safe, and reach out for happiness. Sometimes you have to break out of your gilded cage and wander into a desert of death. But life finds a way, doesn't it?